Hello fellow internet adventurers, today I thought I would bring you along while I try a new method of knitting a jumper on my Sentro 48 pin. I recently knit this little guy. If you would like to see a more in-depth tutorial on this type of jumper, I am very happy to do one. It is partially hand knit as well as being knit on the Sentro, so I can't, for example, do ribbing on my circular knitting machine. So what I thought I would do was see if I can design a jumper that only needs me to knit, say, 2 tubes, rather than needing to know how to do like the panel knitting on the 48 pin or needing to know crochet, because not everybody who has a Sentro knitting machine knows how to knit by hand rather than by machine. So if you've only just got your Sentro, or if you just want something easy to do, you can try this. It's not a tutorial so much as a joint exploration, because I haven't done this before. It might suck. So today I'm going to be using Paint Box Double Knitting Yarn by Robin. It's a really cute colourway. Because I am a tiny bit undecided on how I want to do the bottom of the jumper, I'm going to use the waist cast on method. So I cast on just like I would normally, leave a longish tail. Okay, so that's 48 pins, so we skip that one. Knit, skip, knit, skip, knit, skip, the whole way around. The first pink one has 2 on it. So now with cast on, we can knit our first row. I normally do maybe 10-12 rows of waist yarn. I've cast on using the waist yarn method. I've reset my timer, and my jumper panel was 70 or 80 rows. I would like it a little bit longer, so I think I am probably going to do 200 rows. Okay, I'm on 100 rounds, which means this should be the length of the front of my jumper. Oh, it stretches out a little bit, but I'm happy with that. So I am going to come back when I have a little bit more to do. So I have left quite a long tail. I don't know whether or not I'll need it, but better safe than sorry. And this is now at 200 rows, so I am going to use the waist yarn cast off method. You can see at one point I did drop a stitch, but one dropped stitch out of 200 rows, I am not mad about that. My favourite bit about the waist yarn method is once you're done, you can just do this and it takes it off for you. It's like so easy. So the idea for this is I am going to have the 2 panels and I'm going to sew them up the side to here and the centre back, so that it kind of creates like a little knitted vest. There we go. I have hit 200 rows on the second tube. The first tube did turn out being a little bit longer than the second one, just because my stitch counter wasn't working properly. Took it apart, gave it a clean. There was a big hair stuck in it, and that's why it wasn't working. It looks very cool in person. Oh, that's so cool. Let's see around here. I am using a 5mm crochet hook. I found knitting wise that the knitting machine's gauge is roughly 6mm for knitting needles, and I do have a 6mm crochet hook, but I find it's a bit clunky for doing this. The kit comes with like a really little one, because ever so thin. I think it's like a 3.5, but I personally prefer this one. Same rules apply as with usual casting off. The stitches you need to look after are these ones here that appear above the green. I am thinking that the tidiest way to finish this would be with the crochet hook, so I've sent a big long tail and this is all things that come with the Sentro knitting machine. I'm using my own versions because I have ones that I prefer, but there is no reason you can't do this with the ones that come with the kit. So all I'm doing that, then I'm keeping it on here. I'm going to the next one, which is actually hiding. There we go. Keeping that on my needle, so I have on my hook, so I have 2 stitches. Go into the next one here, so I have 3. Go through all the stitches and repeat until the end. Now what's happened here is it's pulled, but you can see the stitch should sit here. So that's what I'll use. Again, 1 and 2 on my needle. Into the third one. Pull it through. Right. That's one side done, so now I can take off the waste yarn. I'm just gonna do the same thing here that I did for this and join them as I go round, so it will make sense in a moment, trust me. Active loop back on the hook, through these 2 and continue. Then I'm just going to do exactly the same for the other 2 end pieces. So for the edges I'm going to do the same, and this will be the side underneath my arm until I get to the point I want my cardigan to end. While it's easy, the issue with slip stitch is that it doesn't really stretch a lot. Then that is what the seam looks like. I've misplaced my tripod somewhere. I'll find it anywhere, so this angle kind of sucks, but I finished the cardigan. I'm really pleased with how it came out. I did pin it to see what it would look like with both the back and the front sewn up, which was like my original idea. It would look super cute, but I made this a little bit too long. I feel like the next time I make one, I'm maybe going to do like 160 to 180 stitches rather than 200, because it hits me like mid-hip, and I don't know, it just doesn't look good on my body type. But as a cardigan with like a cute little kind of arrow down and keep my shoulders warm, I love it, it's so cute. I did experiment with the idea of like maybe putting a little button, but something about the button just made me look like a grandma from the mid-2000s, and like not in a cute way. If I have time, I'm gonna make a short version of this, which you will see now, if I got it done and edited in time to post this on Friday. I'm really pleased with this. I think it turned out all cute. My partner told me to check behind the bedroom door. I think I did that, but hey, maybe we've solved the tripod mystery. Moment of truth. I'm blind! I looked behind the door. Did I look behind the ironing board? No, I did not! So for the second jumper, I decided not to use the waste yarn cast on method and just cast on with the wool that I'm doing the whole thing, just to see if it made any difference to how easy it was to start and finish the project. Overall, I don't think it was necessarily easier, but when it came time to sewing up the piece, it definitely saved some time. Weirdly, for once, I wouldn't recommend using waste yarn. I cast off the usual way by taking a long length, doing a single round of stitches so that I've only got 1 live stitch on the machine, not 2. Then I took a darning needle and I did what I normally do. I took the big long piece of thread, popped it so each live stitch was held by a piece of thread, and then I could just lift it off the machine and jobs are good, and it was all done, and I could get to sewing up both ends of my tubes. So I'm now casting on the colour for the second tube. So obviously you've got like your final stitch and your tail from casting on or off. Now half of 48 is 24, so I'm going to count 24 stitches. 1, 2, 3, 21, 22, 23, 24. So I'm then going to put my crochet hook. You can use the one that came with the machine. I prefer this one because it's got a bigger handle. To the 25th one that you've counted. You're then going to go through 24, pull it through 25. You're going to find 26. You're going to pull it through. Then you're going to find 23. You're going to pull it through, and you're just going to do alternating stitches all the way along. You don't have to worry if your cast off stitches are, say, like this. You can just pull them up. You should have a little string just going all the way through from where you cast off or cast on. Now the benefit of this is you leave the string as free as you like, and what this will do is this will allow the end of your work to still be stretchy. So with most cast off methods I see for knitting on the knitting machine, there's the issue where like the slip stitch measured with crochet, for example, is not very stretchy. So then you have to know how to, say, do a knitted bind off by hand, because crochet stitches, which I would arguably say tend to be more common methods of casting off pieces from a circular knitting machine like this one, they're just not as stretchy. Whereas like this, you still have a pretty stretchy outcome towards the end. Hello! Finished the jumper. I really love this version. I love it so much. It really does work being that little bit shorter. I did 180 rows per tube instead of 200, and for me, I'm very short in the torso, the fit is just so much better. I'm really chuffed with how it turned out. I'll do the little 12. Yeah, I love this for me. I think it's grand. I really like it. It's so lovely and cozy. Like when it's a bit warmer, I can wear it like this around the house where, you know, I've not got anything under it. But I bet it's gonna look just so cute over my work blouses. The dress code is just super chill, and I am definitely wearing this to work today. I love it. I'm so excited. Yeah. I officially need to make a million of these. I think it would be really cool if I did like a checkerboard pattern, so instead of just being a single colour the whole way, I like changed. So I had like squares, and I made a matching hat. I'm gonna show you. It's reversible. I'm not entirely convinced that I'm like a turned up beanie kind of guy. I'm not sure. Like I don't think it's giving. I wanted it to. I thought it would look amazing. And I don't know if it's how I'm styling it, but yeah, I just look like a TV presenter for a kids show. And that's not a bad thing. Like if that's the vibe, go for it. I'm working with kids all next week, so I may very well lean into that a little bit, but yeah, I love it. I'm gonna wear it to work. I'm really excited. I hope that you enjoyed this video. It was really fun to make. If you enjoyed this, please like, subscribe, come back for more knitting and sewing and fabric craft type shenanigans just like this one. I don't really think it's my colour though. I want it to be my colour. I want to be an orange and yellow girly, and I'm just not. Fashion, baby.